Well, it's Tuesday in the wood shop, still plugging away. I've got my 20 covers to do today as my goal, but there's a lot of other distractions. There's actually one thing that's distracting me I'm going to do right here. Today is our regional bee club meeting, and as part of that bee club meeting, we have a fun little thing. It's called a loony draw, and people just bring stuff, and it doesn't have to be bee stuff. It can be anything. Some people bring a plate of cookies or some gadget or whatever. Sometimes it's bee stuff. And so today I'm going to build 10 frames and wrap them up nicely, take them into the loony draw. Hopefully that'll, and what happens is the participants, people as they come in, everything's laid out in the loony draw table. Is kind of like a silent auction, is you throw in $1. For my American friends, a loony is $1 in Canada. So we throw in $1 or two. The $2 coin is a toonie. Yeah, this is the country I live in. And throw in $5. So for every dollar you throw in, you take a little scrap of paper, you write your name on it. Throw it in the hat. At coffee break, one of the organizers gets on the microphone and they draw names out of the hat and announce them, and you just come and pick whatever prize you want off the table at that time. Of course, you know, if you're drawing early, you can have your choice. If you're drawing late, then you might have one or two choices to pick from on the table. But that's just it. So my feeling is, to be honest, I usually throw 20 bucks in the loony draw, but I don't write my name on anything just to support the club. So today I'm going to take 10 frames. I'm going to here assemble, and I'm going to put Right Cell Foundation in them, wrap them up nice, put them on the table. It's going to cost me about 20 bucks material, a few minutes of my time, you know, but it's a bee thing. Maybe it'll get more tickets in the hat. That way people want to win the prize. Participation. I really appreciate this bee club. I appreciate the people who run it, the executive, and the people who I attend with. We have some fantastic speakers. We have our provincial apiarist, Riel Lafreniere, come speak with us. We have Dr. Rob Curry speak to us from University of Manitoba. We have Ian Stepler speak with us about what he's doing, because he's not too far from here. He's actually become a pretty good friend. A huge resource for me in my beekeeping. His blog, I'm one of the first viewers of his videos. I was an avid reader of his written blog before he got into videos, and he's always treated me very, very well. He's a very generous person. He's given me some very good tips for my beekeeping. He actually gets after me once in a while, shakes his finger at me, which is great, that he feels, you know, invested enough in my success to do that. I'm utterly thankful for that. A lot of my management style, my equipment even, these migratory covers, the migratory pallets, they're very similar to what he's doing. And not just because they're what he's doing, because I don't have an easy loader. He has an easy loader on a truck. I don't have an easy loader I don't even have a flatbed truck like that. I have a trailer. But I have a tractor, which works kind of like an easy loader to handle the pallets. So what he was doing looked like it would work for me, and it has. Indoor wintering. A lot of beekeepers do indoor wintering. Again, I don't do it because Ian does it. I've wintered outdoors here with 100% success, so that's not an issue for me. I winter indoors because it's less labor for me. I can move 200 colonies inside 3 hours from my apiary to my wintering building. There's no way, even with help, I could wrap 200 colonies for winter. And the expense, winter wraps are expensive on that scale. They don't last as long as a building lasts. I had a building available I could use for wintering. Those are all the reasons. It doesn't really increase wintering survivability much, oddly enough, but it takes out a lot of variables. So anyway, that's not what today's about. Today's about, we're going to build a few frames here, and then hopefully at least 20 covers. I'll go over some of what I'm doing with the frames as I go. Again, I've recorded an in-depth, detailed build video on my frames. There's actually 3 of them out there. 3, say 3. I can't do this. 3. I guess a lot of people do this, right? 3. You can seek out those and look at them too. So let's get at it. Hope you enjoy. So I've done this a lot of different ways, and because I'm only building 10, I'm actually not going to do it exactly the way I always do it when I'm in full production. I usually have myself a little glue pot that I use here, but I'll try and do this without. I found that this really speeds up the process. If I flood this with glue, I'm not going to flood it because I don't have my glue pot, but I'm going to put a copious amount of glue in here. And then I'm going to spread it with my little brush. This is just a common acid brush. I buy them in packs of 10. They're 25 cents a piece. Cut the bristle off about halfway. Make it stiffer. I don't want too much glue in here because I'm going to turn it over. This way, once I have this glued, try and get the excess glue with my brush. Once I have gluing done here, I'm done gluing, which is nice. My little Irwin clamps, not quite set up just right, so it's a little clumsy. I can put a little more glue in this side because it's going to stay upright. Maybe. And remember that your best glue surface is the side here. This side and this side. This bottom doesn't give you a very good glue bond. So what you're really trying to do here is get the glue up on those ears. Get the glue up on the side grain. That's where it's going to do you the most good. Okay. I'm done with that. I'm done with the glue. Isn't that nice? Walk away. And now I'm going to deal these into, and I'm going to do, actually, you know what? I said that wrong. I'm going to do the bottoms first, because I'm going to be putting foundation in these. I knew that too, I just did it wrong. Some of that glue might drip out a little bit. Not the end of the world. I'll lean them that way a bit, because if they fall down in that, it's kind of a pain to have to go fish them out. Okay, so now that's my bottoms up, as they say. And this is one of the most challenging parts, I find, to be honest, because this is an open-ended rabbet. It's not a dado per se. So getting that to fit nice and tight is what you want to do. The other side is a rabbet. It's a groove. It's got 2 sides to it. So once it's in there, it's in there. But these can be in there, but not in there very well. If there's a big gap there, kind of thing. A little tap is nice. The wooden mallet here I usually use, but that little tack hammer is kind of nice. It's easy to handle, and it's hard to hit something real super hard with it. It's not very heavy. This is kind of the slowest portion of this job. And I'm slow too, because I'll tell you, I haven't built frames probably in 2 years. oddly enough. I've built thousands of frames, sometimes thousands of frames a year, some years, but I don't think I built any last year. I think last year was 2019, and the reason that is I built a bunch in 2018, but I remember that year I was building frames kind of later in the season into when my bees came out of the barn, and I had a really terrible winter. That's an 1.25 inch narrow crown staple. Oddly enough, this stapler says right here that the maximum staple length is 1 inch, and these 1.25 inches come out just fine. Turn the jig sideways, otherwise the frames will fall out. And so I stopped building frames because I lost more than half my bees that year. And I didn't build any the next year because I hadn't recovered to where I was. Oh, I'm gonna take these out now because I'm gonna put foundation in as I go. This is Permadent foundation. I looked at it, I thought it was Right Cell, but it definitely isn't. It's far lighter duty than Right Cell. It's partly why I'm giving it away. I don't really, well, I can't say I don't care for it. It's fine, but it's not as rigid and heavy duty and robust as the Manlake Right Cell. A little slower to put the foundation in as you build, but I don't know that it's slower overall. And I do it for one reason. I mean, I do it anyway in this situation since I'm only building 10 and I want them done right away so the glue dries. But the other reason I would do this even in full production is that when I put the staple in under that ear, I didn't always do that, but I think it's a good idea. When I do that, the staple goes through into the groove, the foundation groove, and it either kind of splits the wood out a little bit or the staple sticks in there, makes a mess. And I find that if I put that staple in before I put foundation in, the foundation doesn't want to snap in there. Yikes. Nice little sliver. The foundation doesn't like to snap in there quite right. It looks like Right Cell, but when I bend it I can feel it. It's not. Right Cell at all. In fact, it's coming out of a box labeled Permadent. Kind of lends credence to the idea that it's Permadent. Put it in, the foundation should float just a little. If it doesn't float, that means it's jammed and it's probably bowed in there, which is not what you want. Put that one in a bit, snap the foundation in under it. I can't see under there, so I have to do it by feel. This is 1.5 inches, I think. Medium crown staple. Gotta get her just right. Go down that end bar. And that makes a nice little package. You can pick that up and carry that with one hand. It stays together like that. It's compact. Keeps them all nice and square. And that is it. That's all the frames I'm building today. That should make 53 covers done. I was tired of this about 50 covers ago. There's really not much to see on these videos. I'm packing it in for today. I've got a bee club meeting tonight, the Red River Apiarist Association. It's always a good time. Meet with beekeepers. Have probably, I don't know, 50, 60 people there. Some excellent speakers. So I'm going to pack this in and go and clean up. So I'm draining my glue bottle here overnight. It looks like a scientific experiment. Got it set up on the clamps to hold the bottle, make sure it doesn't slip off of there. I've taped the necks and everything, but we'll just make sure it doesn't slip off and have a nice big glue puddle by morning. But anyway, we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Maybe I can finish these, or nearly. There may be just too many left to finish in one day. It's not so much a physical thing that you can't do that many in a day. It's more a psychological thing that you just get tired of it. You totally get tired of it. So you have to mix it up a little. Set our sights on tomorrow. Have a good evening and have fun.